Some days start in Wellies and end in the airport. Hello and welcome back. Today I'm heading back to England for work, so I'll be taking you with me as I head through Belfast International Airport and Manchester Airport. Over the years, I've travelled a lot for work. Through airports, having numerous suitcases and living out of a bag feels completely normal to me, even though the life I'm travelling from today feels very different. While I'm on the move, Martin is back home relaying a patio in some pretty challenging weather. And somewhere all in between all that, we'll give you a little sneak peek at our next project. So this video is a mix of travel days and home days and what's coming next. So come along with us and join in. Hi, I'm Helen and welcome to Finding My Place. After years of fast-paced city living, I realised I wanted something different. More calm, more nature and more space to breathe. When Martin brought me to Ireland all those years ago, I knew this is where I wanted my life to be. So now we've made the move and began creating a slower and more intentional way of living, doing the garden, exploring, running, cooking, and looking after our well-being. This channel shares that journey of stepping away from the rush and finding what feels like home. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into today's video. Just before we take you through and show you what Martin's been doing in the garden, I just wanted to kind of just talk a bit about what my life has been like travelling backwards between England and Ireland and kind of just give some background as to that. So before we moved over to Ireland, we lived in the north of England, and to be fair, when I'd met Martin, we'd already had this kind of 5-year plan that at some point we would move over. And thanks to COVID, it meant that more flexible working became available at work, and I kind of took that and was able to, move here, which was the best thing. Now, a number of people always say to me, don't you get tired travelling backwards and forwards all the time? And yeah, I'll be honest, it isn't always easy, and you do get tired, and it's kind of like always living in a suitcase, and I've got things in England and I've got things here, and sometimes you think, oh God, where are different things? But for about 3 years in the company that I'm in now, I spent quite a lot of time travelling the world. I used to go out and audit factories all over the world, in Asia, China, Europe, God, everywhere, Thailand, Vietnam, just all over. So, and I could be away for a week or 2 weeks at a time doing that. So going through airports, navigating different countries and towns has just become kind of normal. So packing up a suitcase and getting on a coach and going into an airport isn't something that really phases me anymore. At the start it did, because I hadn't really travelled that much before I started doing the work. So having to then figure out, where you are and not really speaking another language either, actually not speaking any other language. So I relied so much on Google Translate and everything else to get myself around. But it just meant that I have managed to see the world, and going on planes now isn't something we haven't been on a plane to go on holiday for, God, it must be 10 years or more. Ireland became our holiday for a while, and then it became our home. So yeah, holidays and going on holidays on planes isn't something that I do at the moment, or we've done recently, but it is something I've done a lot for work. So when everyone gets excited about the airport buzz, there isn't that for me at the moment. It's just normal. I've had a few dicey moments where I've not left myself enough check-in time to make sure I get my bag in. Luckily, some of the smaller airports in Ireland are a bit more flexible than the larger ones. So there was a time recently where I was heading to London for work, and I'd got to the airport about 5 minutes after the bag check-in had closed. Luckily, they did come and open it up and allow me in. But yeah, I've got into a very good routine now. I've been able to leave home, know where my bus is going to be, or know where I need to get to the airport and kind of get in there. Now, I can be a bit of a time optimist. It is something that is part of me and it's who I am. So I do have people, checking in every now and again saying, don't forget you need to. But yeah, airport travelling and travelling for work and going backwards and forwards is something that has just become normal. And yes, it does get tiring, but I know what I'm coming back to now, and I think that's the nicest thing, you know, when the plane kind of comes across Belfast or into Derry, seeing the green, knowing what I'm coming home to, makes the travelling all worthwhile. So if you do have the flexibility of working from anywhere, you know, don't always feel that you can't come to Ireland. You know, there is a freedom of travel arrangement as well, which means you can live in the south of Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland, so you don't need any other special visas to do that. You can very easily just go between Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland without any issues. We have done that. So yeah, don't use that as a barrier to not to. And what I would just probably say is don't live in regret, because you know, you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, I would just kind of, if you've got the opportunity, grab it with both hands and do it, because you know, what's the worst that can happen? You can always go back to where you were, but you can't always go back to things that you thought you were going to do but never did. So yeah, that's what just a bit about my travel, how I find it, and the ease of it. And as I say, the ease of travelling to the airports is so easy that you've got air coach, which is fantastic, or you can fly from Derry Airport, and Derry will fly into a lot of the major UK airports anyway, so you can fly to Manchester, Liverpool, Edinburgh and London, and obviously if you needed to get an onward flight as well, you can do from there as well. So yeah, don't use it as a reason not to do something, use it as a reason to do it.
As you can see, the patio area is quite uneven and it's going to need relaying to make it nice and flat again. The flags are quite old, they look a bit filthy, but when you apply the sand to the top, rub it in really hard, it will actually clean the flags up as we go along. So hopefully save us a little bit of money as we move along on that, because it's not an important area of the garden. It just has to look nice really. I don't have a whacker, I'm not hiring one. They're quite awkward just for such a small job, so I'm going to make one and hopefully that will do the trick. Watch this space. It's actually 4 degrees outside, so wish me luck. This patio area as it stands is very uneven. It is laid on a fine layer of sand and has a handful of mortar spots to level the flags. The current flags are old, they are badly discoloured, but they are structurally sound and therefore still have plenty of life left in them. It would be a waste to send them to a landfill. I have decided against placing the flags on a cement base, as the original soil has already been heavily compacted after 20 years of use by the previous owners. Firstly, I will lift the existing flag, scrape off any soil, roots or plant life, and then cover with a layer of base sand. The sand is then compacted with a homemade whacker to give a firmer, more level base. Some fine adjustment will be necessary to lay the flags, as the flags are all different thicknesses. Finally, Sand is forced in between the flags to secure them into place and to reduce weed growth. This process has the added advantage of cleaning up the flags as the work progresses.
Martin has very kindly just stopped what he's doing with the patio and dropped me off in Derry so I can jump on the air coach and head over to Belfast Airport, where I'll be taking a flight over Manchester, where I'll be going to work for a few days. Now, I have to admit, the travel to Belfast is kind of like luxury. We're on a lovely coach, which is an air coach. It has Wi-Fi, USB charging sockets, it even has a toilet. So it's very comfortable. It means I can work away as I'm heading over to the airport, and I can work away in comfort and luxury. As we head into the airport, recently I have noticed that they've been doing a lot of work at Belfast International Airport, so I'm quite excited to see what changes they have done. In the recent months, have been travelling from Derry Airport as well, because they do more flights on different days to Manchester, and it's also a bit easier to get to and it's not as hectic. Now, as I head into the airport, I'm welcomed by some fantastic artwork on the wall, and it's really nice, and what I would say is quite Irish of them. As I head in to check in my bag, it's lovely and bright, and the EasyJet staff were more than happy to help and take my bag off me. As we head up to security, I can tell that there's definitely been some work going on because the security area has all changed. As we head into the duty free area, wow, what a change it is. It's very festive, but also very bright and completely different to what I've seen before. I really liked these mock-ups of the alcohol bottles. Really did have part of the Irish spirit, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't pop into the little souvenir shops just to see what they've got, and I found these teddies and little ducks were actually quite cute. And if you do know me as well, and you will know that I do like my cake. Not really a tea drinker, but this one's more for my brother because he really does like his tea. As I head into the lounge area to see what other shops there is, I was greeted by the wonderful Santa. Hi Santa! And the main point was I was trying to find somewhere to sit where I could sit and work for a few hours until my flight was due. And yes, I did find a lovely spot in Starbucks. I have to admit, even though I am a country girl and I do love being surrounded by fields and greenery and not having much light pollution, seeing the city from above is something quite magical, where all the street lights turn into twinkling stars and all the car lights all kind of create veins across the earth and across the roads. It is very magical to see from above. I'm waking up over in England, ready to head into the office for the day. Martin is at home just making himself a brew and a cheeky bacon sandwich, so he's fully fueled to get ready and prepared to go and do the patio for another day. I don't envy him at all. It's not nice weather out there, so make sure you're wrapped up warm and ready to set the day running.
The weather was a real factor throughout this process. I ended up taking 3 days to complete this task as I experienced strong winds, heavy rain and even some hailstone. The bad weather wouldn't normally be an issue for me, but the camera equipment doesn't like the heavy rain and the flimsy tripod doesn't like the strong winds. We will probably be ordering a new heavier tripod from Amazon as soon as possible. Eventually the camera ended up inside a plastic crate turned up on its side, which actually worked out just fine. Since moving to this location in Ireland, we have experienced numerous storms such as Storm Bert, Storm Connell, Storm Dara, Storm Owen, Storm Amy and Storm Bram, the one which affected my patio building. We get plenty of rain here, that's for sure, but without it we wouldn't have such lush green grass everywhere. I have kept a slope on the flags extending from the main path to allow for water runoff. By using sand as a base, I am free to consider alternative paving methods in a few years' time and to maybe reuse these flags in a different area of the garden. A simple job coming up next using some very basic tools and materials. These are a drill, a hammer, CT1, a silicone gun and some screws and screw caps. The old wooden constructed carport is due to be demolished and replaced. A piece of timber framing was exposed to the elements and was beginning to rot. Using two leftover pieces of white PVC cladding from another job, I temporarily nailed them to the exposed timbers. Later, I pre-drilled the cladding for screws and capped them with white PVC caps. To complete the framing, I siliconed two PVC edge trims to the wood using CT1 silicone.
we're flying home for Christmas, which is fabulous. Airport has amazing buzz to it, lots of people going away for festive breaks or just last weekend break before Christmas, so there's definitely a buzz in the air. There's a few flights delays, but you know what? It's all good. We will all get to our destinations eventually. So, yeah, I'm just going to go mill around and see what I can see.
Thank you very much for watching our videos. We've been absolutely blown away by the number of people subscribing, watching the videos, commenting, putting a little like on it. Absolutely fantastic. We can't believe it. The pressure's on to keep delivering for you. Next week we've got something even better coming along. A few people have said we should purchase a drone to show off the amazing Irish scenery. We've taken that advice on board. We've had a play at it today. It was absolutely fantastic. Some of the shots are totally amazing. We cannot wait till next week to share it with you.
Really looking forward to that. So thank you very much for following along and watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the spy hole view through Manchester Airport and Belfast Airport as I travelled back to England, and also watched Martin go and do the patio outside for a very tight budget, so he did really well. So it's goodbye from Martin.
And it's goodbye from Helen. We don't discuss this bit, so what are we doing next? I think just good hours, okay. Good hours.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Choosing to leave the city life behind and build something more intentional here in Ireland has been one of the most meaningful decisions Martin and I have ever made. What we're learning every day is what it means to live a life that truly feels like ours. Please like, comment and subscribe to follow along with this journey. Until next time, take things at your own pace, appreciate the small moments and keep finding your own place.
What do you call an Irishman that sits outside your back door in the summertime?
I don't know. What do you call an Irishman that sits outside your door in the summertime?
Patio furniture. That was better.